Hello, this is Daniel, and we're going to be working through Campaign Playalong with Mythos Busters, working on the next campaign, which is Dream Eaters. This is a kind of a strange campaign because it is actually two mini campaigns in one. It's got one four-parter with one group of investigators, and then another four-parter with a different set of investigators. So I'm doing two-handed solo, which means I need four investigators. I'm going to talk about the four I've chosen for this campaign, and as usual, at least so far, with the campaign play-alongs, we've had just a limited card pool. So here we have just the Dream Eaters cycle, so all of the player cards that came in the Dream Eaters Deluxe box, as well as the 6 Mythos packs that came afterwards. Night of the Zealot, which of course is the base set for Arkham Horror, the card game. Return to Night of the Zealot, and then the 5 Investigator Starter packs. And those are the only cards we get to use, so some discussion about the investigators I picked, who are not from any of those except for Winifred. So let's go ahead and start with talking about our Dreamers, the 2 investigators that we'll be sending on to the Dreamers side. So you should be able to see on your screen now Minty Fan, who is our Clover, and taking advantage of some of the Dream Eaters cards is kind of the name of the game for any of the investigators. And Min is a great investigator that deals with skills, and the Survivor Awe class allows for some interesting stuff too, namely playing scavenging. So we've got an old keyring to make investigating easier, and then it discards itself. And if you succeed by 2 on a further investigate, then you get to put any item back into your hand. The other notable card here is Dream Diary. Really, really good card for Min because we get another skill card to commit, which gets you a boatload of wild icons. We'll look at Min's card herself in a second, just one to give you an idea of the cards that will be in her deck. And the only other interesting thing of note, I think, is Moonstone, which I've got no way of putting into the discard pile except for Occult Invocation. So maybe this will work. And that's Min. I hope Min will do really well, but she will be helping out the other investigator on the team, which will be Winifred. As you can see, she'll be dealing with the enemies, and Dream Eater seems really good for her. Of course, we've got mostly a bunch of her own cards from her own pack in the set too. A lot of skills, some events, and the Crystallizer of Dreams, which is a Dream Eater's, of course, card, and works really well with Winifred's ability. So, lots of ways to fight, evade, a little bit of investigation too, so she's not totally bored during some of these scenarios where there's not as many enemies out. I think this should be good. Looking forward to it. I've played Winifred once before. I've not played Min, although I've been on a team with Min a few times. But Winifred likes to commit skill cards, or just cards in general, and Min likes when other people commit cards, so seems like a pretty good pairing. Okay, so that's our Dreamers team, the Dream Team, if you will. On the other hand, we have the Waking Team, the team that is we be playing the B campaign, which I have dubbed Grandma and Grandpa Can't Fall Asleep at Night. We've got Grandma. Gloria, this is a investigator you might not have played because she's only been released in the novella, and another pack that you can buy online from Games Enter. And so we don't really know what her real cards are, but she has a couple of interesting things that she does with her investigator card, which is look at the encounter deck and discard something that you don't like. So we've got one card to make use of that from Dream Eaters, which is First Watch. So Gloria can take some Guardian cards, level 0 and 1. First Watch lets you look at the top, in this case 3 encounter cards, and decide who gets them, and get rid of 1. Parallel Fates will help as well, as will Scrying. Need to upgrade that scrying though. The level 0-1 is not so good. This is like pretty standard Mystic stuff, taking advantage of the events in Dream Eaters, Read the Signs, and Spectral Razor in particular. I think this is just a good deck. I think Gloria is pretty strong and does something pretty straightforward. There's a few upgraded cards I'm looking forward to. I believe Dream Eaters has Twyla Catherine Price, I believe is her name, that puts charges back onto spells. As usual, you just kind of need to get the spells out there to do anything, so Arcane Initiate is a big deal. Alright, that's Grandma. Here's Grandpa, Charlie Kane, who was recently released, I suppose. The upcoming Scarlet Keys Investigator pack will include him for real, but you can play him anyway until then. So let's see how it goes with a limited card pool. He likes allies. His thing is that he can have a lot of allies, and the level 0 options are not that good. Charlie Kane as the monster fighter is, I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping that Gloria just keeps the monsters off of him to begin with, but I got Survivor and Guardian as his two classes he can take 0-2, mostly because Vicious Blow makes up for very few weapons he can take in this card pool. But things should get better once we get some more allies, and we need some experience to get those allies. So Jessica Hyde seems to be really good. But more than that, Dream Eaters has the Black Cat, which was awesome for Charlie. Another 2 wild icons on an ally. Maybe Miss Doyle, so he can fight or investigate or evade at a base of 5. And maybe even Chuck Fergus. Got a few tactics and tricks in here that might work. Otherwise, I don't know. This is an experiment. I think he can be very good once Bonnie Walsh gets out there and some allies get out there. But man, I don't have a whole lot of way to generate money or to find anything. So looking forward to punching some spiders. The one fight spiders. All right. Here we go. So that's more or less what I planned. I guess I forgot to kind of look at the investigator cards themselves to show right up here on the screen what we're looking at. So Gloria, her thing is to really manipulate the encounter deck as best she can, which maybe will make things easier for Charlie. I don't have a whole lot to trigger that ability. Alyssa Graham comes in a totally different set. That's Dunwich. So, you know, just have to make use of what I can. Scrying, I suppose, mostly. And then I've chosen Guardian for her off class. So there's a few things that are in there from Dream Eaters. Not a lot. And then let's look at Charlie Kane real quick. Again, 3 additional ally slots. 1s across the boards in the stats, which is bad. So you have to make usage of this ability, which is unlimited during your during the round, as long as you can exhaust allies. You get +1 skill value plus initial +1 for each skill icon that ally asset has that matches this test type. That's good. I have no healing in any of these decks, so Soak it is. Oh no, I have a horror healing in Gloria, but that's kind of about it. There's not much healing in the Dream Eaters. Okay, Winifred, if you're not familiar, really strong stat line except for the low willpower, and then this ability to draw cards once you've committed 2 different non-weakness cards you control. Again, no healing here, but she's pretty tanky. And then Min, very similar ability dealing with skill cards, so really similar Elder Sign, in fact, really. But she'll help out Winifred. Maybe we get the succeed by 2s going. I don't know. We'll see. So that's kind of a preview. The one thing I didn't do is add weaknesses. So let's go ahead and do that. I've just put out the core, the starter investigator weaknesses, and the Dream Eaters weaknesses together. We'll shuffle them up. Let's give Min one first. Nihilism. Okay. Winifred. obsessive. Okay. A little annoying. And now let's go Charlie Kane next. Okay. That's probably fine. Doesn't have very many skills. That's the one that Winifred should be getting, but okay. And then Gloria. After you fail, take a whore. This is a pretty manageable 4 weaknesses that I've picked out for these, randomly picked out for these investigators. But it's Arkham, so you really never know what's going to happen. So that's kind of the overall gist of these decks. I've also, not going to spoil too much about the campaign. I've only played it once, and I do know a few things that happen. I think these teams are going to be fairly well suited for the challenges. There's, well, I don't know. The Waking side is like, but I think if things go right, the investigators are in the right spots. I do think that they're the right teams for the right campaigns. So in the next video, I will start actually playing the Dreamer side. So that is Winifred and Min, and hope that things go well. So thanks for watching, and check out the next one.